Hi and welcome to 2 Minutes with Hull and Hull. I'm Ian Hull and today I'm going to talk a little bit about what is a will. Now it sounds like a bit of a broad question. It is of course a broad question. What I mean by that is, does a will mean anything? So we at Hull and Hull do most of our work in the contentious area of estate litigation. So we are often called upon by our clients to look at the will of the deceased and to assess whether or not that will is valid. Interestingly, we have a lot of scenarios where and I say this often to my clients, I actually earn a living trying to ignore wills. Now, two ways to do that. One is you can challenge the validity of the will itself, and you go through a court process for that, and you say basically the will isn't a valid, proper legal document, just like you would challenge a contract. And say that the contract isn't binding on the parties because they didn't know what they were doing when they got into it or something like that. The second element is something lesser known by clients and sometimes a bit of a surprise. But a will or a trust that's created before death, an inter vivos document of that nature, can in and of itself be considered to be challenged as well in light of the various provisions across Canada dealing with the Variations of Trust Act. Now, a Variation of Trust Act is a provincial act, so each province has its own version. It is my favorite act in the world because it is the shortest act. It's only a couple of sections. And what that does is it allows the court to look at varying or amending a will. So we have two options. One is we can go to challenge the validity of the document itself, and that's a will challenge. And then we also have the option of varying the terms of an existing will or trust that has been created. So those are the two ideas that we have available, and some people don't know that they're available to you when you have someone pass away and they hand you a copy of a trust or a will that has a trust in it, or if you're a beneficiary under a trust during the lifetime. That option of varying that trust, and I'm going to speak a little bit more about the terms of that and how that is done in my next podcast. So thank you so much for joining me with 2 Minutes for Hull and Hull.